So this is the end of the line for Miami. The Hornets await the loser of the Magic-Sixers game for a chance to win and get a series against the 1 seed in the East, the Detroit Pistons. Charlotte last made the playoffs in 2016. That's the longest active drought in the NBA. As for Miami and head coach Erik Spoelstra, his thoughts now on the ball-bam play.
I don't think it's cute. I don't think it's funny. I think it's a stupid play. It's a dangerous play. Obviously, our best player is out. I'm not making an excuse. The Hornets played great, and they made those plays down the stretch. We had our opportunities to win. I just, that's a shame. He should be penalized for that. I don't think that belongs in the game. Tripping guys, shenanigans, and Curtis was there. It's his responsibility to see that, and if it's not his responsibility, then Zach's got to see it. If somebody has got to see that, and that he should have been thrown out of the game, for that.
LaMelo, it kind of looked like on film that you might have grabbed his leg. I mean, did you intentionally grab his leg?
I haven't even seen. Like I said, I got hit in the head, didn't even know where I was. But, yeah, just playing basketball. But like I said, sorry, and I'm going to check on him.
Always enjoy talking to Kendrick Perkins joins us now, and I can imagine that Spo is hot for a number of reasons. Had a lead, let it get away. But specific to this play, he was pointed, he was direct, didn't think he was cute, thought that ball should have been ejected. What were your thoughts of that play?
Scott, no. We can't do this, right? We can't do this. And I understand, did ball grab Bam Adebayo's foot? Yes, he did. Did he deserve to get ejected? No. But here's the bigger picture, Scott. Control what you can control. Do you realize that the Miami Heat has been in the play-in tournament for 4 consecutive seasons, which is crazy? How about winning games in the regular season so you don't put yourself in position for a one-game elimination? Because anything could happen. And that was unfortunate. Yes, Bam is a key part. He is the cornerstone. He is the franchise of the Miami Heat. But I just don't want this narrative to be out there and overshadow what we just witnessed in a hell of a play-in game to start the playoffs, basically.
If you're the Hornets, you're clearly thrilled to have won with a ball bucket in the end, but you're not winning another game if Khan and LaMelo go 2 of 22 from 3 and 14 of 45 from the floor combined. I don't think. But you said you noticed something in the way the team played tonight. What was that, Perk?
Well, it's their style of play, the Hornets' style of play offensively. They look like the Celtics. And we got to remember, Charles Lee won the championship under Joe Mazzulla. The Hornets are second in the league in three-point shot attempts. They're ranked top 5 in three-pointers made. And so they play that style, live by the 3, die by the 3, and this is what we're going to see moving forward. It's not going to change, Scott. They believe in their system. Charles Lee seen it work with the Boston Celtics, and they believe that they have the personnel to play this style and win games.
Well, hey, you bring in White to do exactly what he did, take and make big-time buckets, and he does. You told me back in the winter you felt like this Hornet team was going to be a playoff team. In terms of their development for the future, how important is it to get another win to actually get a series and get a chance to really get in the deep water of what playoff basketball is?
Oh, Scott, it's very important because think about it. They have been the biggest surprise, especially in the Eastern Conference this season. They finally got stability. They finally got culture. You can see the togetherness. They want it. You can see it in LaMelo's eyes, how he came out and attacked the game offensively. I want to see this team in the postseason. They're playing for one another. They're playing agenda-free basketball, and the fans wants to see it. It is very important for them to get in for the growth and the development of this organization.
You've been consistent on that agenda-free basketball. I get the point, and I love the point. I think it's well made. Interested in your thoughts on Portland and Phoenix. We'll get those a little later in the program, all right?
Because I was in the play-in 2 times, lost. Kobe's been in the play-in, 4 times? So for us just to get a win like that, and I think he lost to the Heat every time he, got in the play-in. So, we're just happy to win. We want to continue to win. We got one more till we can get to the playoffs. So we're just trying to lock in on that too.
Oh, what a night for Miles Bridges. What a night for the Hornets. But one thing, right before we took a break there, Coach Eric Spoelstra from the Miami Heat was at the podium, and he did not mince words about that play that ultimately ended with the Bam Adebayo injury to his back. Tough to watch, even in a replay setting, Chris.
Yeah, he had a diplomatic response.
Sure.
He wanted, when you calling something a dirty play, that is a really negative outlook on that individual. But that play right there, it was uncalled for. It was uncalled for. He already had one. He was basically on one leg, and then he took that whole leg out. So he didn't have anything to fall, any cushion to fall back on, except for his tush. And that's what ultimately led him to being out for the rest of the remainder of the game. Tough way to go out. The Miami Heat still fought. But if we're talking about that play, that was a dirty play.
Yeah, I knew once he was leaving the game, I knew he probably wasn't coming back just because how he fell on himself. I've done that before where all your weight hits the ground, and he's obviously way bigger than I am. But in that sense, like, you knew it was something really wrong, and it was tough because Melo's not that type of player. It definitely was a dirty play, and it's an unfortunate situation with the Heat missing their best player for such an important game. So it is unfortunate, but I have a lot of respect for Coach Spoelstra for not blaming that play for losing. Like, a lot of coaches in that situation might have blamed that play for losing, especially since it's their best player.
Right.
And he's like, you got to tip your hat off to the Hornets. It's just an unfortunate situation.
And let me add clarity. When we're talking about a dirty play, we're not saying LaMelo intentionally meant to injure Bam, get him out the rest of the game. But for whatever reason, that was what he chose to do at that point, and it resulted in Bam being out for the remainder of the game. So I'm not saying he went out there and that was a play that he intentionally tried to get Bam out. I'm not saying that. But that was a dirty play. It was unfortunate, but again, we had a great game, and you definitely want to see both teams at full strength, battling it out to the end. Bam was 3 for 3. He was on his way to dominating this game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, unfortunate.
And I think there is something to be said, too, before we move on from this topic, about the way that the Heat played. They've shown guys rise to the occasion every time, but to see your dude, your leader, truly in the locker room, go down like that, you can tell they said, oh, it's on.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's the Heat culture. It's like next man up mentality, and they've always been really good at that. So you got to tip your hat off to the Miami Heat for not, giving in with their best player going out so early, especially in a hostile environment like the Charlotte Hornets had tonight. So it sucks. It's unfortunate, but you got to tip your hat off to the Hornets.
No question. Speaking of the Hornets, one sort of unexpected development in this was the play or lack thereof of Rookie of the Year candidate Knueppel. I mean, he looked shook to me at one point, Chris.
Yeah, he was taken out of the game. Obviously, his shot wasn't going. 0 for 6 from 3, 2 of 12 from the field, 6 points.
6 points.
That's not the kind. What he averaged around 19 or 20.
Right.
So they definitely did a good job on him, or he was just, again, maybe shook. Because these moments are different. This is not officially the playoffs, but it's a playoff
but
type.
But it's not.
It's not
the regular season.
This is a playoff type of fielding game. It's win or go home. But one thing I will say to Khan's credit, he was out there still locking up.
Oh, yeah. He was impacting the game.
They were trying to ISO him, and Norman Powell a few times, Tyler Hero, they couldn't get past him. So he was still doing some things, but ultimately, what you know him for is his shooting, his spacing. And he wasn't hitting. I was surprised, just like with IT, that they didn't really go to him at all during the later stretches of the game. They completely went away from him. But again, he has another game to try to redeem himself.
That's it. Well, now he's got that one under his belt, right? And that's what we're talking about in terms of the experience and the postseason experience, the amount of postseason experience the Heat had, as opposed to this group of Hornets together had none collectively as a group here. So I think there's a lot to be said. He also knew that they were going to come after him.
Oh, yeah, and it's the playoffs. Like, it's something he hasn't seen before.
Right.
Like you said, he looked a little shook. Like, he didn't look as comfortable as he does, as he's been all season long. A team like that wins those games. That's what you take the positive out of those games, because he's not always going to shoot well, but he's still able to impact winning. And he did that tonight with having a bad shooting night. He still impact winning, and they got the win.
Yeah, we'll say that our crew, and especially led by our talent producer Dorian, said, "Yo, we got paid to watch basketball." Truly, and basketball like this. Chef's kiss. All right, we're going to take a short break, collect ourselves for a second.